It was just announced that Grimdark James's favorite role-playing game system, Mophidius's Star Trek, has a humble bundle. If you want to get all of the books, I remember when it released, you could get the core book for $200. Now you can get everything for $15. It's a long fall.
So what's my favorite system again? I missed that.
Mophidius Star Trek.
Oh, yeah, no worries. Yeah,
Yep.
totally behind that one.
I know that you're big into that.
I backed it.
Huge fan of it.
Actually, no, I didn't back it. I was in the beta test for the public beta. That's right. I don't think I actually ran any sessions. I think I just read it and dismissed it. But go buy it because support game companies.
Humble bundle.
That's it. And support charities too in the same process.
True.
That's it. All right. So we'll go over to Pierre. So were Pierre and Dawn both going to the same place or going to different places at this point in time while Nero was off being mind fucked?
I think Pierre is going to be handling the colony situation since it's going to take a little bit to get the war meeting set up, the war council.
Okay, so you're going to be doing some logistics then?
Essentially,
and
yes.
What about Dawn?
I've already forgotten her name, but I'm going to go meet the ecclesiarchy.
Canonus Goneril? Okay, no worries.
Canonus Goneril.
Yeah, Headmistress McGonagall of House Gryffindor. Yeah.
That's what's actually getting me confused. So
I'll put it in chat. There you go. It's in chat now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Roger.
Okay. So a car takes you out to where the Sisters of Battle are encamped. So there are a couple of their tanks there as well, along with several battle sisters. They're all basically in armor and effectively on duty on patrol as such. So the Order of the Valorous Heart they all wear black power armor with white robes with some red lining around the white as such. But what's particular is they all wear white gloves to their power armor, despite the rest of them being black. Canonus Goneril is sort of standing at a table that's out in the open where there's things like maps laid out of the local area and also several books that you can clearly see are like tomes of the ecclesiarchy. And she seems to be directing not only the Sisters of Battle here, but there's also like support staff here. So there's like Mechanica staff to support the tanks. There are people to see to their armor. So she's pretty much directing the operation here. She's a tall woman, probably would be in modern terms appear to be in her late 50s, early 60s, although still, well built. We're in full panorama. She wears a wimple. Not all this. Most of this is here don't, but she does wear a wimple without a helmet on, so you can't make out her hair at all. She has a black eye patch over her left eye, and so you can see some scarring on her face from under the eye patch as well. No other obvious. Well, she has no obvious cybernetics at all. Has a sword belted at her hip as well. You can't see any sort of. She hasn't got a bolt pistol or other ranged weapon here, but she's probably would carry one in battle. As you approach, she notices like the symbols on your robes as such, and Sister Hospitaller, welcome. I didn't know there were any of your order on this planet.
What is the correct terminology for me to address her as?
So Canoness, probably upon you acknowledge her title on the first thing. So you probably say Canoness, and then beyond that, some subsequent. You probably either use your Grace or My Lady or something like that. She certainly has a high ranking within the church. So.
Mm-hmm. All right, and is there like a bow, some sort of like curtsy, or like what exactly is
there'd be some sort of bow type thing as well. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I will do the formal introductions into the Canonus, my name is Sister Dawn, Confessor of the Cleansing Flame of the Hand of Calixis.
You're the sister which serves the Lord Captain of this household.
That is correct, Your Grace.
Yes. Yes, we have taken interest here, both because we were requested to do so by Sister Miriam, but also because the former Lord Captain was named for the saint, the martyred saint that formed our particular order, and so we have come to lend our aid to this battle. You're from the Abbey of the Dawn originally, yes?
Yes, I am.
Yes, but you're young, so you likely haven't. You weren't there in the Abbey during its troubled times. That's good. You've not heard of any troubled times, by the way. Like
yeah, no. She'll give like a quizzical glance, but then just sort of, go back to her normal demeanor, and it's like,
tell me, sister, what is to be your part in the upcoming conflict?
Well, Your Grace, that is, as far as I'm aware, up to the Lord Captain.
Well, that's not a medical tool I see belted at your waist, so I assume that you know how to use it.
I guess she's referring to the power sword. Yeah. It's like, yes, I've had a chance to stretch and understand how things are done under the Lord Captain. So I have had quite a number of encounters that I've had a chance to train with it.
Mm. If he will free you, you should spend some more time training with the Sisters of my order here. They have each seen years of combat against the heretic, against the alien. I'm sure they could provide you with ample practice prior to any such encounter.
James, is that a mechanical benefit to me, or like?
No, it's
how does that work?
Yeah,
it's role playing. It's like,
yeah.
Once I have freed up my chores for the Lord Captain, I will find it very hospitable to take under the learnings of the sisters here.
Hmm. Tell me, sister, how have you found your service to the Lord Captain? It's not uncommon for the orders of the sororitas to gain such a position within the courts of the rogue traders, but I'm curious as to your experiences.
The Lord Captain himself is a very eager and honest man. I cannot fault him at all. Some of the staff he has are a little concerning, but other than that, I see no complaints.
And his mission seems just and in keeping with the tenets of the God Emperor?
He has had run-ins with a couple of Xenos. However, I have been led to believe that that is within his purview to handle as he deems necessary.
Run-ins as in conflict or as in dealings?
She actually pauses for a second and she says, I'm going to have to say both, Your Grace.
And has anything happened that has caused you to have to fall back on your own faith, or has your own faith been called into question by these things?
My faith has never come into question, Your Grace. However, there has been attempts by Xenos to communicate with me directly in ways that I am not comfortable with.
Is this something you feel comfortable to expand on? I sense that there's some discomfort about this for you.
Visitations, they are not really something that I would say there's an enjoyable experience. I have been forcibly, whether I'm not fully understanding of it, is my presence there or whether I have been moved there, but it is not a body that I have come to recognize with the scars that I have collected in the Order, and been visited an Eldar inside of a prison, one I am not entirely familiar with, but everything there seems very real. This only happens during sleep. I've never had anything happen outside of it.
Do you know why you were so sought, why you were so targeted?
This also has become a point of contention for me. We had a run-in with a hologram or something of that nature, and he basically foretold that I would have some interactions with a king of his kind, and that was part of some grand scheme. Honestly, it sounds like a lot of gobbledygook, if you don't mind me saying so, Your Grace, but so far I have been unable to evade these interactions.
You know who Sister Miriam is, yes?
I am aware of her. She is quite the has a storied history with us, but I have not had a chance to meet with her yet.
She wrote to Palatine Rhiannon of the Abbey of the Dawn and requested you specifically to serve on Road Trader Cowles' ship. I would be interested to know why. It may be an easier question coming from you rather than from me. And for you, it can be genuine curiosity. For me, she'll understand that I have an agenda behind the information. If you speak with Miriam, I'd like you to do what you can to find out, and then let me know.
Was I aware of that beforehand, James? Or not really?
You know that you were. I mean, you know that you were requested. Do you assume you were requested because you'd fought alongside this ship's crew before in a previous battle, as such?
I was led to believe it was because of a confrontation that I had alongside of the crew of the Hand of Calixis. But if you're telling me that Miriam herself was the one that requested me, that is indeed news to me.
Well, she's on this world, so I suggest that you seek her out and speak with her. With regards to the other matters that you've discussed, I don't pretend to understand how the mind of the alien works or what its machinations are. And I do acknowledge that the Lord Captain has remit beyond the edge of the Imperium to deal as he sees fit with these things in order to benefit the Imperium. The advice that I would give you is remember that every word from the alien's mouth is a lie. For the alien has no soul and cannot accept the God Emperor. So when you advise the Lord Captain, keep that in your thoughts.
There has been a run-in with an Inquisitor who has been very friendly to these Xenos, and his instructions to the Lord Captain, which I believe the Lord Captain has taken on, was that we must be willing to be friendly with the Xenos until we can get what we need from them, or abuse the situation as much as possible. My dealings with them has been friendly as such. Do you agree with that direction of inquiry?
I mean, I agree.
I'd be more aggressive with the Xenos.
I agree that both the Inquisitor and the Lord Captain have permit to seek friendly gatherings, and that you are a member of his crew and as such, therefore, subject to his order. I would only encourage you to help to steer him the right way, and to never do anything which would put your own faith in harm's way. The moment that you feel uncomfortable with what you are asked to do is the moment that you should realize that you're in the wrong place, or that you serve the wrong master. He has latitude, but He is also responsible to ensure the furtherment of the Imperium and mankind in general.
These are wide words, Your Grace. I will take them to heart.
Let me. I don't mean to sound crass here, sister, but there are some rogue traders within the Expanse who have previously been accused of relations with some Xenos that go beyond mercantile. I would strongly say that such is an aberration.
I agree with that statement.
Yes.
It is in my idea to advise the Lord Captain that straying too far into the realm of helping these creatures goes against the judgment of the Lord Emperor. I will make sure that he follows suit to the best of my ability.
Yes. Sister, our order, as does yours, holds prayers at dawn. You would be more than welcome to join us each day if you're on planet as you wish.
I will do this. It is not very often that I get to pray with members of my extended family.
I have much to do then. I'll leave you to your plans.
One final ask, if you don't mind me asking. I have had some trouble requesting some more eccentric items of the order for personal use under the Lord Captain. Would it be possible to use some of your stocks for this purpose?
If we have what is required and it is not already assigned to our battle order, then yes.
Thank you, Your Grace.
So in system terms, if you want to make a roll this time, you can add a +20 bonus to the roll.
Woohoo! Yeah, I do wish to make these rolls. That would be fantastic.
You still get Potter to do it, but that's with a bonus.
Shall we do that now, Mr. Pondo?
Should we do that now?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've already established that it is for only wanting one of them is a +20 total. And make your commerce test.
It's for the jump pack, I guess.
Jump pack, yeah. That's what I said.
I'm gonna spend a fate point to re-roll that.
Okay.
Did we get the forearm-mounted storm bolters last session?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Not yet.
I think the refractor field was all we got.
Yeah, the refractor field was what we got.
Refractor field and the Inferno pistol.
That's
for
right.
me.
Yeah, there were two things. Okay, so that brings you up to 52 plus the modifiers, so you're up to 92% chance total.
All right.
Don't tell me the odds.
High level of failure.
Oh god.
Wow. 91. For the folks at home, that's a 91.
That's why you don't tell me the odds.
Just barely succeeded.
That's right. You got the last one.
Wow. What about a hand flamer? Is that a possibility here?
Yeah, you guys happy to use another roll for a hand flamer?
Sure. Do you bother with good quality or not? It just gives it a reliable trade, correct?
That's right. Yeah. So it'll still get the +20 because it's part of the Sororitas kit. So they're which are happy to share if they've got it. So
I don't even think because it's not that rare of an item, isn't it?
It's a rare, so it's also a +20 total as a base.
So it'd be +40. So it'd be what's our profit factor? 48.
48 or 46? 40.
I think it's 48. Last I checked.
48. Yeah. So you're looking at 88 even without the commerce test. For common quality.
I feel like I'm gonna need the fate points for something else that is somewhat important. So I'll just go ahead and go with what I got then.
All right, 88.
Oh, I did that wrong. Times 100. There we go. Okay.
There we go. Okay, definitely.
Adam just crates full. They overwork.
So you now have everything that your character is pictured with. In which case, for those who are watching the show and haven't been on the Discord, the character artwork is up.
You want to throw
Discord.
it right here onto the table as a character thing, and then I can Control Z it or space Shift Z it. Because if I add it to the overlay will crash after a couple minutes.
So what do you want? How do you want me to put it where?
Throw it down there on top of the Rogue Trader, Last Scion, APGamingREAL as a token.
Cool.
And then I'll pop it up to full size so the folks at home can enjoy this wonderful art.
Yep. Stand by. Keep talking while I'm doing this.
Yeah, so I guess Sister Dawn like goes over to like some sort of officer that they have there for maintaining all the stuff, and I like the idea that there's just like one.
It's a quartermaster sister, she's got 5 o'clock stubble and a cigar. She's slightly overweight. All right, let me see what I can do here. Is that a token now? There we go.
It's a token. Yep.
Can you select the token and then hit Shift Z, and it should
Shift Z.
Yep.
Oh, that's a show to players. Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. And you get that everybody. You don't get Nero very well, but that's fine.
Right. Do you need to put out who's who, just for those who aren't paying attention?
I feel like it should be fairly obvious who's who. One of them is covered in weapons, another has a cane, and the third is a woman. So I like how the Lord Captain's belt literally just has a ton of weapons right at his junk level.
I still need to invest in more single shot weapons, just so.
Why though?
Because I can.
I actually, because the artist did all the pictures in the same same size images, but the Nero one's quite a bit small. I don't know how tall Nero's supposed to be, but
5'11".
He was he was
he's
considerably
taller
shorter
than the other two.
He was considerably shorter than Pierre Cowles when I first put him into the thing, so I did upsize him by 10% to get him to that size. So
that's reasonable. I know he's a lot taller than Dawn, apparently.
Yeah.
I don't really have a height in mind for Dawn, but that
you said she was small earlier, which is why I called her the Badger. The Boulder.
Yep. Yeah, I would see that. Right. She's probably shorter than the Lord Captain, but not by much. I don't imagine she's not like disadvantaged or whatever. Yeah.
All right. So you've been able to acquire those goods.
Hell yeah. So now offhanding Flamer with the main hand power sword that's also on fire. She's ready to burn some shit.
Yep. Bring on the flammable heretics.
Yeah.
All right. So I believe let's knock out this logistics stuff, because we can all roll dice for this. So we need to work out how your various colonies are going. So let's start with landfall, where we are right now on
Regina 4.
Regina 4.
Okay.
So,
I always preferred Regina 3, but
I mean, Regina 1 is the original. You can't beat that. Boom.
It's the 4th planet from the sun, so Regina 1's a gas giant. I suppose you guys who set up a colony there might have some troubles.
I mean, Adeptus Mechanicus set up a harvesting operation. Come on, James, you gotta keep up with this. This is some real shit.
Okay. I need to roll a D10, correct? Or do I need? I don't know. It's been a while since we did this.
Yep.
To be honest.
No worries. Okay, so there's 2 parts to it. There is seeing if the colony grows, and there's seeing if it experiences any calamity or fortune. So the colony growth is all right. So first off, you've got the option each cycle to pull money out of the colony or to reinvest the money for purposes of growth. So starting with this one, it's how much you can pull out of it is equal to where's raping resources from the colony. Pretty sure it's equal to its own profit factor value.
I'm working on selling them blanks. All right, I'm getting there. I'm working on selling them blanks. I'm getting there.
telling you.
Effectively, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, I'm telling you, we need to set up a business relationship with the Kazbalika, let them help us find the power players, use them to, we say, hey, this is the pie that is Footfall. Let's talk about how we can make your slice bigger by taking somebody else's slice away. The blanks are the key to killing, what's his name? All right, James, go ahead.
Okay.
My rant is done.
Nice. Okay, so you can pull out up to 4 profit factors. So effectively, you can take the resources of the colony that's produced now and recognize them as additional profit factor additionally into your group, which will actually add 4 profit factor. Or alternatively, on the roll to see if the colony grows or not, on a 1 or a 2, it decreases in size. On a 3 to 7, it stays the same. On an 8+, it grows in size. You can take as many as you want of that 4 profit factor and reinvest into the colony, which adds to that roll. So, for example, if you put 2 profit factor into that, then it could not decrease in size.
Okay.
Now, when you take profit factor out of the colony, when you're not at the colony, it causes discontent.
Right.
Because you're basically just having them send their goods to an unknown, unseen master, but you're actually at this colony, so there's no penalty for taking the resources while you're here.
Can I?
Okay.
So would using the resources here to invest in growing it be taking it?
No,
technically?
that wouldn't be taking it. No.
So I could do the same thing to the other colonies because I'm not there. I don't want to cause problems.
Yeah.
Because I just got a lot of the problems fixed.
Yeah, that's right. The other thing is that pulling this 4 profit factor out either for the purposes of the colony growth or for your own profit factor decreases the total resources available on the planet. So normally resources drop at a very slow rate. Effectively doing this once every 3 months takes out a year's worth of resources in one go.
Okay. Since I'm guessing flavor-wise, if I use this to invest in my profit factor, it'd be selling the stuff to the merchant ship that's here so you can get on and go.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Gotcha. I think I'll do 50-50 split for this one because it said it was 4, correct?
4 total. Yeah, so put two into its growth and then 2 into your own profit factor.
Yeah, so that way there's a chance that there's a slightly lower chance that it will decrease in size.
Okay. So that'll raise your profit factor to 50 then.
Yeah, which is good because I messed up and had 50 in the Imperial Astra-Militarum.
All right, and then roll a D10 plus 2 for the colony size.
6, so nothing happens.
Okay, 6, yeah, so it stays the same size. All right, and then roll a D6 for calamity. Sorry, D10 for calamity or fortune.
6, so I think nothing happens again, correct?
Just double check that.
At least I'm hoping.
6 is nothing happens. That's it.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll go over to who wants to do the rolls for Solitude, the mining station, which you've just recently got under control. Any volunteers?
Sure. Yeah, fuck it. Why not?
No
I
worries.
like rolling.
Okay, so this one generates a total of 5 profit factor. So I'm just checking how its resources are. Its resources are relatively light, so its current rate, Solitude will only last probably another probably 2 to 3 years with what's got available to it, unless you switch over to raping the Xenos ruins, like the Eldar station for resources. It's going to run out of metals in the next couple of years, so you could pull out the resources, but you'll burn a year's worth of resources to get 5 profit factor out.
I'd say leave it alone for now. Not take anything out. Well,
Season 3 Pondo's about to regret what you're going to say.
Season 2, but yeah. Do at least 2 profit factor to make it less likely to decrease in size.
If you take any out, you may as well take it all out because there's no.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. So you may as well pull out the full 5.
So just be. Yeah, go ahead and pull out the rest of the 5, and then we'll take the years out and then figure out what to do with it later.
Okay, so you're going to put all of it into its size growth, or because remember, if you take it for yourself now, that leads to the problem of unrest.
Just put it towards the growth.
Okay, so roll me a D10 plus 5, please, Dawn / Dave. Dawn's not rolling any dice.
Or is she?
Oh wow. Okay, there you go. So it definitely grows in size. So
Boom.
it grows to size 3. And
God
it's gonna
Emperor's
need,
like, grow, bitch.
and need to see what it now requires to maintain that growth. Roll me a D10, please, Dave.
It's going to stop its profit gain, isn't it?
Boom. God Emperor's all like,
Yeah.
what up?
So it requires better communications infrastructure.
Communications.
Okay.
They want their soap operas.
Try to bring them more astropaths, man.
Yeah, so I'll work out afterwards what the net effects is on that. But it's got high enough stats. Hopefully, I think being with infrastructure doesn't reduce its order. I don't think.
I don't recall.
I think it just decreases productivity if you don't have the right stuff.
Which will lower our profit factor, I believe. So
Yeah, we'll work that out afterwards. That's fine. All right. Okay, we'll go to Nero now for Hoarfrost. So Hoarfrost cannot grow right now. Oh, sorry, we haven't finished with Solitude. Dave, roll a D10 to see its Calamity versus Fortune.
5.
5. That's nothing. Okay. So over to Hoarfrost.
Is that good or bad?
That's it's neither good nor bad.
it's fine for now.
Yeah.
We don't want bad.
Hoarfrost can't grow because it's missing infrastructure. You can pull out Profit Factor if you wanted to prevent it from shrinking, because it can still shrink. So it's got 4 Profit Factor total. Did you want to pull any of that out for? So in terms of
So what
resources,
if I don't pull it out? What happens?
So if you don't pull it out, you just roll a D10, and a 1 or 2 it decreases in size. Otherwise,
Okay.
nothing happens.
And if I pull it out, what happens?
Then you could add up to 4 to make it a D10 plus
But
4.
what's the consequence of pulling it out?
That you'll use up a year's worth of resources in 3 months.
And what's the resource length of this world?
Probably only about 2 to 3 years. So, actually no, it's 1 to 2 years. It's not got a lot of resources.
All right, yeah, I'm not going to do it then. I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit.
Yep.
So when
That was a terrible risk.
So when a planet runs out of resources, is it just no longer good? You have to move it somewhere else, or
You got to change its type of colony, because obviously a mining colony with no minerals is not going to do anything. You just change it to an.
so I need to
colony.
change it to like research or something. Okay.
That's right. Yeah. So so Hoarfrost decreases in size to 1, which gets rid of its requirement for a communicator. They no longer need those communications infrastructures there. So
1 astropath is more than enough for all the people. Everybody else died.
And finally, Outpost 31. We'll come back to. Oh, sorry, and a D10. Sorry, Arthur for Calamity versus Fortune.
8.
8. That is a Fortune roll.
Fantastic. The colony re-expands, and a communications outpost is set up for no reason.
Love the idea that they take all the
Fortune.
mining stuff off the planet, and then some guy trips over a fucking huge ore vein of like.
Is this raw ceramite wrapped in uranium? Amazing.
I kicked over a rock and it's just oil fountains everywhere. Just
America
Crazy.
shows up.
Roll me a D10 to see what fortune it gets.
Fantastic. How about that 5?
5. Okay.
It ain't me. I'm not the fortunate one.
A cruiser-sized void ship plummets from space and makes a barely controlled crash landing many kilometers away from the colony.
Are you reading Catastrophe?
While the crash kills most of the officers, crew, and passengers, enough survive to make a valuable addition to the colony's population. If the colony's leader or an explorer can convince the survivors to integrate into life in the colony with a difficulty -10 charm, deceive, or logic test, the colony's size increases by 1.
All right, so I'm going to turn to Lord Captain and just be like, Lord Captain, obviously this takes place in the future because I'm currently being tortured, but if you were to contact these survivors, not only could you add them to this colony which accidentally shrunk, but maybe you could even salvage the communications equipment and the astropass from the ship.
I feel like the ship landed on a group of colonists that are over in that area. And the ones coming out are like, well, we got nothing else to do. Yeah, I'll try to convince them to join. What is the thing I need?
Charm, Deceive, Logic -10.
I will charm the shit out of him. Hold on a second.
Make sure you have fate points on reserve.
Good news, everyone. You can't leave, so you might as well live here.
Does Renown Warrant attribute to my bonus?
It does, yes.
Okay. So I got Renown Warrant, and then I've got a regular bonus of +10 to charm. I have...
Congratulations, you crash landed on the best planet.
So I'll be rolling at a 98.
Wow, I mean,
his opening line is
by that 1%.
You don't have to go home, but you could stay here. 5.8 degrees of success.
All right, that will say, and your colony size increases to 2 again.
Now, can we salvage the communications off of that ship?
Well, that will still be an endeavor, but that can change the roles that you would have to use.
Sure.
Because there's a storyline to have what's there.
Good.
Okay. All right, Pondo, you can do Outpost 31.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to check it because the leader of this colony is unlucky. I think that affects these roles too.
Yeah, I remember. I think it's if something bad happens, he has like a plus something.
Happens worse. That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Right, that's right. Okay.
Which is
all
not
right.
great.
So Outpost 31 has 5 profit factor, and in terms of its region, it has around 3 years of resources still.
Wow, your mom set up some really shitty colonies.
Apparently.
Well, I mean, it's 3 years of resources. If you're constantly stripping them.
I mean, come on, man. It took us thousands of years to strip everything off the Earth.
I'll go ahead and just invest it all into, well, causing it to grow can cause us to lose profit factor, can't it?
Yes.
Shit. This is all numbers.
But that's a solvable problem,
man.
though. That's a solvable problem wherein you get more profit factor in the end.
Yes, but it's the immediate threat, the profit factor I need.
On the other hand, if it shrinks, you also lose profit factor.
This is also true. Sure, I'll go ahead and have it invest all into growing it and hope that I don't grow it for some reason.
D10 plus 5.
No, you want to grow it. Make it big.
No, I grow it.
It grows.
Can I invest? All right.
D10 to see what it needs.
Oh wait, this is not the bad roll yet. Okay,
No.
That's good because that was a 3. That was probably a bad roll.
Okay, it needs power.
That's understandable. All right, now for the not great roll.
Okay. Now for the not great roll. That's right.
7. Okay.
So 7 is for a lucky person. It's not a calamity. So you're good.
All right, that's all that matters.
Now, and the final thing I need to do is your general sort of luck for your warrant. Remember last time we did this? This was an Inquisitor showed up to give you trouble.
Alcibi,
yeah, because I rolled like a 98. Yeah. Okay, so I did D100.
Yeah. Okay, so it's a D100. Yep.
That's a 26.
26. Okay. All right. A corruption takes hold in one of the road traders' interests. Cultists of the Dark Gods, a wayward imperial cult, or an unruly crew brotherhood act to sow toil and make trouble. Roll me a D100 to see whether this affects your profit factor.
I'm guessing that does.
It does. It reduces your profit factor by 2.
Damn it! I just got that too.
Until sold. So let's just see. We've got.
What do you mean we have to buy our own water now? What's this Nestle?
Okay, let's see what your profit factor. What could we affect this with?
Apparently, I have to kill all those bits of the crew and not have to replace them.
Solvable problem.
I had to replace the t-shirt making crew. They were getting tired of having to make all these t-shirts that weren't getting sold.
So, in terms of what we've defined for your profit factor so far, we've determined that you've got 18 points in colonies. You've got 5 points is tied up in your noble position for Scintilla. 3 points is tied up in your noble position for Port Wanda. 4 points is tied up in the fact you own a vineyard. That was referenced in the first episode. And 18 points are currently not defined. So I'll let the players sort of like discuss and choose. Where do we think corruption can come from? Do we want to make up a new thing from your 18 undefined that has corruption, or do you want to do one of those other things, corrupt vineyard?
I want that wine to be dark wine. I already referenced that in Wrath and Glory, where people were drinking the celebratory juice.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you want to?
That's just me, though. Don't have to take my word for it.
Let's do the Futurama thing and make the Slurm factory, where it's like an alien being milked for like soda.
I'm just, oh god.
We're gonna have to go all the way back to Scintilla. We're gonna have to burn the whole planet down. This is gonna end in a Halo device. I know it.
Well, I mean, I like to believe that I like to believe if aliens came to Earth and they saw what we were doing from honey, they'd be like, ew, what the fuck? What are you guys doing? Wait, what's that? Are you guys milking a cow? That's disgusting. What are you doing? Yeah, same thing.
I'm a fan of having at least 2 of the unallocated profit factor be the merchandising team. And they're getting fed up with making the numerous different shirts.
Okay,
Lord Captain,
so there is
this weapon that shoots t-shirts out of it into large crowds of people. Except we've killed too many people with this gun now.
So what I'm hearing is there is a chaos cult of screen printers on the Hand of Calixis.
Yeah, that's what he's negotiated.
Okay.
Alternatively, the wine thing is too, but that's But
now we're gonna get shirts that say "We're all in this together," but around the word "all" is the 8-pointed star of chaos. Have you considered murdering your family today?
That's it. Yeah, 7 times 7 blessings upon you, from Grandfather Emperor. All right, we'll have to deal with that at a later point, I guess.
The entire script of the B movie is now printed on a single shirt.
Okay, so now Nero, you find yourself on board the Hand of Calixis. You're not entirely sure how you got here. You're unarmored and unarmed. Just in an empty corridor that you're pretty sure is, you recognize the Hand of Calixis, but no one else is around. You can feel the groan of the grab plates. You can hear the winding machinery in the background, but no voices, no footsteps. You're just wearing, effectively, you're plain Under Armour clothes. And
he's got
you're
Crocs
carrying.
on.
Sorry, got Crocs.
He's got Crocs. Yeah, we've never seen him in them before, but he's wearing them now.
All right, all respect is lost. Take 10 corruption. No. I hate Crocs. Does he wear Crocs with socks though?
No, okay. Not a monster. He needs to be able to get in the shower with them.
Nobody wears socks with sandals. And under your arm, you've got like a small box. You're not sure what's in the box, but you know that it's important. You know that it's crucial. And somehow you know that there's something in these corridors that are after you for the contents of this box.
I'm gonna look around and go, Lonan, what's happening?
There's no answer. Although you do hear a distant sound like some sort of inhuman growling.
So what part of the ship am I on right now?
Just a corridor in effectively just in the lower deck somewhere.
And I don't have any weapons.
Yeah,
and I have a box.
You have a box.
All right. I'm gonna look for a house phone.
Okay, no worries. You find one of the
Master of the box.
All you hear all across the Vox is a throaty breathing sound.
Lonan, I know that's you. Pick up the phone, Lonan.
In the distance, you can hear something like metal being scratched against metal. Like it's almost like fingernails on a blackboard, or something is coming closer to you through the corridors, dragging claws across the metal bulkheads.
All right. So I have a box, and I need to protect its contents, or I need to bring it somewhere.
You need to protect its contents. You know it needs to be safe. You know this needs to be safe.
Do I believe that murdering someone with the box, like beating them to death with the box, is appropriate, or like my mission is to flee with the box?
Well, the box looks pretty fragile, so you're not sure it would be.
So beating someone to death with the box, not a great way to protect the box.
What's in the box is what's important, not the box itself.
What is happening? A discussion on what's happening. What is in the box?
You have a look. Okay, it's like Pulp Fiction. You open the box, and from the camera's point of view, we see a golden light across Nero's face.
Yeah,
and then Nero closes the box.
Yo, we good.
We as the audience, we as the audience don't know what Nero saw, but Nero knows it's important. Marcellus Wallace's soul.
Marcellus Wallace doesn't have a soul. He closes and locks the box?
It doesn't have a lock. It's just like, it's got like a catch, but it doesn't have any sort of...
His objective is to make it to the thrice locked chest of Nero the Blade and put the box in that box. Okay. So he begins running. And we know that he runs every day, and we know that he's very physically fit, so he just starts running, trying to make it to his quarters to put the box in a box. And then put locks on that box. And then perhaps put socks with the locks on the box, because he's not wearing them, and the Crocs.
That's like a children's book. So your objective is to effectively outrun so choosing to try and do this quickly. All right, no worries. Give me a willpower roll plus 20.
I don't think I have any negatives to this. There are many things I have negatives to, but most of them involve talking. Hey, okay, I succeeded with 0.2 degrees.
No worries. So, as you're making your way through the corridors, you can sort of you can hear multiple things sort of joining the chase, but you're aware of the fact that you're always steps ahead of them. You know that they're even where one of them starts to sound like it's coming closer, you manage to dart down a corridor and momentarily lose it so much that it's starting to fall behind you. And as you do, like the ship corridors sort of start to extend outwards as such. Like you feel like you're running. You should have passed this bulkhead a minute ago, but you're still running a bit faster. You are making progress. It's just that the mindscape of this ship is stretching out into different proportions, but you are staying ahead of what it is. Now you keep the thrice lock chest in your chambers, don't you?
Correct.
Okay, no worries. So you open...
several hours later, I finally make it, and I feel like at this point, in order to combat the stretchiness, he starts to go super morning cartoonish and tries to make it so his legs do like a so he's walking like
all right, so you open the door of your room inside the ship.
Yep.
Only the room beyond is much more vast than your actual room. It's like a warehouse size of room, and not only is it packed with all the things that you have in your actual room in the Hand of Calixis, but like all the things you believe you've ever owned. Like every weapon you've ever carried, every suit of armor or clothing you've ever worn is strewn about the place. Every toy you had as a child,
all of them are guns.
Yeah. the contents.
There are a
Nero's
lot of
knife,
guns in this room.
are spilled out, and it's not like it's neatly ordered. It's all over the place. It's just piles and piles of stuff. Like the door behind you closes as you enter the room, and you hear like whatever it is on the outside is now clawing at the door from the outside. You can't immediately see the thrice locked chest among it's maybe under something or in this pile of madness.
I have several questions for you.
Yes.
Can I see the Astartes grade pineapple crack grenade?
Yes.
Can I see the Aegis defense field?
Yep.
All right. Can I see my heavy bolter?
Yes, you can.
All right. So I want to, this is like a crafting recipe. I want to start using all three. I want to deploy the Aegis field as quickly as possible, grab the heavy bolter, mount it onto it, then put the crack grenade beside me. And I want it so that, when the door opens, it's like a heavy bolter right in your face. Okay. And then I'm going to start looking for the thrice locked chest. I want to make sure I'm protected.
So when you lock the heavy bolter in, you hear a voice from the heavy bolter say, "You can leave me. I'll watch the door."
I'm just like, Omniscience, is that you?
Did you didn't name the heavy bolter, did you, by the way?
No, you indicated to me I was not the first person to use it, so I don't know its name.
Okay. He speaks through me.
I know. I
will protect you.
I knew it. Dawn made fun of me, but I knew it. Thank you so much, partner. You and me were ride or die together. I will never let you go. Except for right now, when I'm going to go look for that chest. So Nero moves the giant pineapple crack grenade to sit beside the heavy bolter, and he starts trying to talk to the crack grenade. He's like, Omnisci, can you hear me?
So the heavy bolter speaks to you again, and says, "I will translate for you. What do you need to say?"
What I want to say to it is, like if this position is compromised, I want the crack grenade to sacrifice itself for all of us. If anything gets past the Aegis line, to blow himself up. I know it's a heavy burden to bear. I would do it for him.
It will.
Thank you, Omnisci.
By the grace of the machine god, it will.
Fantastic. Just before he goes to look for the chest, he looks for Sentinel 626, his shoulder-mounted las gun.
Yep, it is there as well.
He mounts it on his shoulder. And then he starts looking for the chest.
Okay, no worries. Give me a search roll at +20.
Well, if we know one thing about this team, it is that our search rolls collectively might equal a good search roll if all of us were to roll together. Oh my god! That is 0 degrees of success, which means I hit a 15 exactly.
Yeah. Well, you didn't even roll. You had the plus. I did say +20, but you didn't even have the.
Oh, you said that for the willpower, not
so
for
you
the
have
search.
2 degrees success.
2 degrees of success.
Yep. Okay, no worries. You move some stuff out of the way. As you move it, you can now hear the chatter of the heavy bolter firing, and you can hear like the blast hitting something wet, and exploding in the background behind you. But you do find the thrice locked chest.
All right, I place the box inside the thrice locked chest. Then I put the locks on, and then I cover the locks and socks for no apparent reason. Just so that quickly getting to the locks is not a thing someone can do. And then I put the socks on the locks on the box with my Crocs on my back. I strap it on as a backpack so that I can move quickly with it.
Okay, no worries. Across the room, there's a deafening boom as the crack grenade goes off as well.
I turn and I go, crack grenade! Heavy bolter, no! I want to be clear. At this point, I'm running away through this warehouse, but I'm like grabbing random guns and just firing them backwards over my shoulder. As soon as the clip is empty, I'm just matrixing it. More and more guns.
You know what I love to believe is happening right now? You know that there's an episode of Black Mirror where like they go through a guy's memories like to erase like his wife or something like that, but the person at the control deck can like see his memories. So there's two Space Marines sitting there in full armor being like, get a load of this guy.
All right. Yeah. So you sort of you round a corner, and Brother Lonan is standing there. And as you see him, you come to in this sort of like tent in which you've been sitting with the librarian. And you sort of feel like this aegis within your mind, which is a sort of the representation of the thrice locked chest within your mind, where you sort of locked the part of your soul that's vulnerable away within this you compartmentalized as such. And the net result of this is for the remainder of this season, you can have plus 20 on any willpower test regarding fear or corruption.
That's big news.
Yeah. Now, I want to be clear for the audience's sake, by the way, that every degree of failure you had on either of those two rolls, you still would have done what you wanted to do, but I would have given you 1 insanity point for each degree of failure. But you managed to come out with your mind intact.
So I feel like Nero turns to look at Lonan, and there's something really weird and psychery in Nero's eyes, those purple Cadian eyes for a moment, and he says, in High Gothic, Brother Lonan, I thank you. What I have experienced between us will protect me. I can feel it.
He says something you don't understand. I mean, you get the impression it's something along the lines of I'm happy, I'm glad we were able to do this, and then he dismisses you. But he's completely incomprehensible.
I didn't understand anything you said. I apologize. My High Gothic is barbaric. But would you like to get a drink later? You can just nod yes or no.
Well, he'll nod. Yeah, actually, what he'll do is he'll open up like a foot locker in this chamber, and he'll pull out like some sort of fortified drink in so it's like it's not like a produce.
Will
like
this kill me?
You asking him that?
Yeah.
No, it won't kill you.
All right, then Nero's like,
okay,
bring it on.
You should ask if he made it himself, Arthur.
I mean, it's an unmarked bottle, so it's like someone's just taken a bottle and put liquid in it, so it's not like it's a commercially available bottle. So it is some sort of wine, and it has been made to be able to affect Astartes' physiology. So it gets
so Nero's really fucked up.
So it's not going to kill him, but you're under the table after one glass of it, pretty much. So
as he's going down, Nero's just like, Lonan, I truly respect the sacrifice you've made on behalf of the Astartes and humanity. You're a great man, my lord. I really appreciate you taking even a second out of your time to help me. I am now going to stand up and leave, but I'll always remember you, Brother Lonan, of the Death Watch Space Marines. And Nero just kind of awkwardly stumbles out of the room, trying not to look like a fucking idiot in front of the rest of the kill team.
It's good that this guy's not a space wolf, because they actually mix things like acid and that sort of stuff into their drinks.
Nero's like, all right, when I get back to the ship, this is gonna be a new T-shirt. I survived Death Watch Space Marine, bro. Then 10 seconds later, he forgets about it.
All right, so we will skip ahead now to the War Council. So a large sort of temporary building, like a demountable, has been set up by the by Holt. So Holt is here. I assume that the PC's here now. This is probably several hours later, Nero. So you will probably still be not drunk, but you're probably in that post-drunk, hungover stage. Whatever this stuff is, it has a kick. So not that I drink, so I can't really equate it to anything I know of. So the other people,
151.
So there is a Catachan colonel, who you understand is Colonel Graver. So he is a well-built, heavily scarred man with a cybernetic arm. He doesn't look like your typical line officer in that he is still, he's pretty much in field dress. So, khaki pants, or I think it's actually, they wear like green pants plus a tunic with his weapons at his side. He also has a Catachan woman with him, who you understand is Captain Harvitz. She is a tank commander and the head of the tank division that's come with this group. So once again, very extreme, which reminds you quite heavily of Spitzerny from your own crew as well. And finally, there is a man by the name of Lieutenant Sarkart, who is the artillery commander. So a bit younger than Graver. Still, has a classic Catachan look. They all sort of, they're always assessing everybody in the room like a fight's about to break out and they've got to fight for their own lives.
I feel like that's a very Nero-ish thing, actually. Like Nero recognizes that look and he's like, good, excellent.
Yeah.
Do you both do an ocular pat down at the same time, but then you realize that you're both doing it and you just not like appreciation?
I mean, Nero did this in like episode 1 with what's her name's body man.
Oh, I remember you mean, yeah.
Yeah. Trying to set up the Lord Captain with her.
Yeah. There's also 2 Space Marines here. So Librarian Viridius, who you met previously, although now he is actually standing in Terminator armor, which is probably the reason that they needed to spend more time getting this room ready, was to A, to make it big enough for him to enter, and B, make it strong enough for him to stand on. So he towers above everybody else in the room in that armor, even above the captain beside him, Captain Bourne, who once again wears the silver battle plate, but with the laurels of a captain and the multiple studs in his forehead indicate his hundreds of years of service. There are 2 Mechanicus engine sears here, one of which is DOS 19. The other one is you've been introduced to as low 1/1/2. They are what you'd expect from engine sears, highly cybernetic, not much flesh available. They've come onto this meeting unarmed, or they've probably got things like pistols of some type at their belt.
We're used to weirdos.
You don't recognize. Canoness Goneril is here, along with 2 of her sister superiors, who probably Dawn's been introduced to as Verenia and Palella. And finally, along with Strain, the 5 members of the Killzone, well, 6 members now, including Vitrion, the flesh terror he came with. They're all in the room as well. So it's a pretty hefty gathering. Pretty much the only people that will really be speaking will be, along with PCs, Graver, the 2 Marines, Goneril, and the Inquisitor. The others will chip in if they're asked questions, but those are the ones primarily responsible for discussions on what to actually do.
So I want to be clear that Nero has removed the reflector from the clock at this point. Refractor.
Okay.
From the clock, and is now just wearing a refractor on a gold chain.
All right. So it's a piece. It's something like it's electric. So all the gaudiness is gone. It's just the electronics basically hanging there.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. No worries. Shrain starts off the conversation. I've received word from the Watch Fortress that the Necron force pushed through the Jericho gate. So they're somewhere en route here now, which is in line with what we're expecting. From what could be observed, they seem to have one ship along the lines of battle cruiser scale, along with 3 or 4 smaller frigate-sized vessels. From what I've been told, the Necrons have some form of teleportation technology which would allow them to assault the surface without actually landing their vessels. But if we can keep the vessels from reaching a high orbit, we should be able to limit the forces they can get to the ground. So I'd propose that we plan to keep both the Black Ship and the Manifest Destiny here, and also use the Hand of Calixis to try and delay their ability to reach the surface. Lord Captain, what are your thoughts?
That sounds completely reasonable. It wouldn't hurt to see if... I would like to see if we get one more ship just to ensure the best chances for up at the sky. But chances of that happening are very low from what I can see, what I've been finding, that is.
As another thought, at least with Imperial teleportation technologies, the Geller fields on ships prevent teleportation. It may be possible to, if we can get the Geller field on board the Anvil of War operational and powered, that may prevent the Necrons from teleporting directly into the ship or into the catacombs below, allowing us to potentially engage them in the open plains outside the ship where we able to better use our defenses.
Is there any chance of us purchasing and moving a macro Geller field to this planet in the time that we have remaining?
We've got less than 4 weeks, so I'd say that by the time you could secure, I mean, there's something like that within the sector. You have to find that from at least the Calixis sector, if not further abroad, and then transport it here. The risk is too great that it wouldn't arrive on time.
Is there anyone here skilled enough in fleet tactics to comment upon a battle cruiser with 4 escorts engaging a fleet of our size? It would seem that we are outnumbered and, to some extent, outsized and outgunned.
Just out of character here, don't we have the blanks that can like stop technology from doing its thing?
They don't stop technology; they stop the warp. And these guys aren't affected by the warp.
No. These guys don't have anything to do with the warp. They have their own like separate sub space travel called quantum travel, essentially.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, actually, out of character, that they travel at faster than relativistic speeds because they have the ability to reduce their weight to 0 through space magic.
That's not weird.
Sorry, their mass, not their weight, their mass. So they travel like Mass Effect. There you go.
Well, if you reduce their mass to 0, you also reduce their weight to 0. So technically, you're correct.
Yeah, that is true. All right. So the other consideration, well, to go back to your question about the size of the fleet, I've only got limited intelligence on how their ships operate. I understand they don't use traditional void shields, and so they may be susceptible to the munitions that both of our cruisers carry. So both the Manifest Destiny and the Onyx Ossuary both have torpedo arrays. So I would like to suggest that our 2 cruisers could probably delay their cruiser and 1 or more of their other vessels. What we would need is for the Hand of Calixis to be the runner ship that goes after any individual ship that breaks our blockade.
You're asking the Hand of Calixis to handle 3 frigates.
No, I'm saying that we can handle the cruiser and multiple frigates, but I'm not sure we can keep all of them at bay. If any
he's wanting the Hand Calixis to run interference.
Yes.
If our blockade works well, you should face no more than 1 frigate at a time.
Perhaps. I'm concerned because the use of torpedoes, again, my knowledge of naval tactics is not complete. I did spend some time serving on such a vessel. The use of torpedoes precludes forcing enemy ships upon a path that you can predict that they will travel on, correct? You need some way of either stopping them or forcing them to go where you want to.
Well, that's what torpedoes do, because torpedoes, you can tell their path of flight when they're launched. And so,
yes.
Yeah, ships will inherently try to move away from the path of flight.
Correct. So, I mean, the only reason, they're like, yeah, these torpedoes are going to be great. And I'm sitting here going, they're almost certainly going to dodge them.
Yeah, I don't know. I believe that Imperial ships can outmaneuver Necron ships in terms of speed and turning capability.
Very well.
no,
I have no
haven't tried.
knowledge of Necron fleetcraft.
I
I'll
don't know
have
what
to
I've been
learn
told
you.
by others.
I see. If you think you can make it work, then that is a strategy. The Hand of Calixis can almost certainly engage in worthy battle. Its crew is as literally ready as it will ever be, even after exploding several times. At least once, perhaps more. I guarantee that all crew members are completely loyal and free of corruption. Most skilled members in their art.
I would like to propose as well then that if you're going to be engaged, if the Clan of Calixis is going to be invaded in this fleet battle, that your crew remain aboard the ship for that initial part, but that we provide you with one of the homers associated to the teleporterium in the Manifest Destiny, so that if the Necrons do breach through and mass land forces, that we can, land mass forces, that we can teleport you to the surface of the planet.
Allowing us use of your teleporterium is quite generous. What is the risks associated with teleporterium use?
It's sort of like the Inquisitor looks a bit sort of like there's quite a few.
I thought typically you wanted to be in Terminator armor before you jump into a teleporterium.
Oh no, you can easily teleport people on an armor, but it's to say it's teleporting you onto the surface of a planet is much safer than teleporting you into a structure. Or the thing is that Terminator armor is better suited to accidental teleportation into physical objects. The human body, not so much.
I think I understand the connotations of what you're speaking of.
Yes, but putting you on a plane in the open, pretty easy for a teleporterium. And remember that the tech priests that operate the teleporteriums aboard the Manifest Destiny are well skilled.
Nero's going to lead into the Lord Captain and be like, your death would be a huge blow for Dentites like myself, but this technology does seem useful, even if you accidentally explode along the way.
Yes, I do realize the possibilities of this. Though I have full faith that they know exactly what they're doing and they've been training for years and years of using said technology. So, and I will accept the low risk of teleporting onto the planet's surface rather than in a building, as I'd rather not be teleported between two walls and cut in half.
That does seem bad, Lord Captain. So quickly allow me to explain. So we'll put in. So this is the Space Marine Captain now. So I'll explain to you how this teleporterium homer works. And he sort of has like someone bring over like this large. When I say large, it's about the size of like a freestanding automatic teller machine, like you might find like a shopping mall. So probably about 4 feet high. Square around the base, probably weighing around 100 pounds. And it's got like a console on the front, and then like a sort of like a radar dish sitting out the top. When this device is activated, it needs to be calibrated for a certain number of living creatures. When the teleportation is triggered from the other side, it will teleport the number of creatures it's been configured for closest to the beacon to a maximum radius of about 30 feet. So be careful about using this thing if you're in a large group. It's only going to get the closest number of people equal to its configuration.
Nero's just sitting there thinking about the ancient Star Trek novels he's read and their teleportation mishaps and procedures.
Yeah. Oh, we need to have like Nero and Pierre get merged into like one being.
Hero. You get evil Nero. He's got a goatee. He's a chaos cultist.
That's definitely worth an art commission.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you need to, once you're ready, you would need to set the beacon from your end for the right number of people, and then inform us, and we will trigger the teleportation beam from the Manifest Destiny. So once again, the Inquisitor speaks up. This is probably all good conversation, but we don't know yet what they're actually coming here for. Once they reach the surface, we don't know whether they can activate whatever's beneath the ship or whatever else. We probably need to have a better idea about what they're actually coming here for before we...
No, we have a fairly good idea. They're coming here for the entire planet. They consider the whole planet a research facility.
Yes, and there's a pyramid that which we'll go to see later and would possibly try to enter in, because we have learned of a way to get in that we've been kind of biding our time for up until, well, I guess this moment.
I've been forging the key.
Well, that's definitely a priority, I would say. But
how's tomorrow look on your schedule?
I was actually thinking next Saturday night might be a good time. But
Nero
that's fine.
Nero just pulls out a calendar book. He's like, I'm not doing anything next Saturday night. It is.
Very well. And then, is there anything else that we need to do with our forces until then? We can deploy them around the ship. We need to work out where most likely the Necrons are going to come from when they do land. If they can't teleport directly into the ship.
I feel like joint training would be in order. Some sort of cross-doctrinal, I just don't want people accidentally shooting each other or pissing off our great lords, the Death Watch Space Marines,
Well, so don't remember the Death Watch Marines are here as well.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm pointing at them. I'm like, let's try not to piss them off, right? So
yeah. So the Nova Marine, the head of the head of the group, which you've been told his name is Epidicus, steps forward. We can see to cross training. We've worked with basically every single group of the Imperium which is represented here. We can ensure that cross-doctrinal training is done.
You guys are so fucking cool, Epidicus. Holy shit.
But we would, as you are the leader of the military forces of the Hand of Calixis, we would include you in that, Master Nero.
Of course, there's nothing I love more than training.
So
wait, then he turns to Pierre. He's like, "Shit, am I supposed to be running?" Like he says it in Road Trick. He's like, "Am I supposed to be running this meeting?"
No,
I thought I was here as a junior officer.
You are.
Nero's like, "Oh fuck."
You are a junior officer. Don't worry.
Okay. At this point, Miriam enters as well. So and she quickly makes a bow to the candidates and then to Pierre and sort of joins the group at the back of the room.
Yeah, but Nero moves next to her and then begins openly looking to make sure she doesn't have any wounds, making sure that she's healthy, that she stays physically fit. She's
actually approaching Nero.
Okay.
And she passes Nero a data slate as well.
All right.
And I meant. She says to you quite I meant to give this to you next time I saw you.
Fantastic. I'll take a look over it. You're good, right? Like, you've been eating well, good, well-balanced diet.
Not now, Nero.
Understood.
Okay. So you look at this data slate.
Yeah.
It's an auto-famulous data slate, and it pretty much lists a whole bunch of Calixian noble families.
Oh shit!
That have reviewed Nero's genetic material and are saying, they're basically making offers to we'd like to have him father a child, that sort of stuff, So apparently he's a lot of families interested in Nero's issues. So.
Quick question: is there an exclusivity thing here? Like, does he need to get married and then stay married, or is it just have a kid and then you're good?
So there's no proposal of a relationship or marriage. It's simply to do with fathering a child. But in many cases, there's implied exclusivity, that this family is making this offer for him to father a child, but to not father with any other family as such. Whereas other ones don't care about that so much.
Trying to breed the perfect space marine.
Or at the very least, they want a new. What's his name? Sly Marblow?
Sly Marbo.
Sly Marv.
Yeah. They're looking to make new mecha Neros all across the galaxy. Little Nero clones. Like, how high ranking are these people? Are we talking like low level functionaries, or are we talking like planetary governors?
These are like noble families. You know, like the count and countess of this family want you to father a child with the countess sort of thing. You know, so.
Nero is literally just like, we need Miriam. This list has shocked me. We're gonna need an in-depth discussion later. If you excuse me, I have a meeting to either run or be a junior member of. Nero is he's still drunk, so he's just like, what the fuck is happening today?
What list do you even have?
Lord Captain, we will speak privately on this later. This list is the utmost importance to the Hand of Calixis crew.
Okay.
Is there any further business anyone has to cover here? Before breaking, we should all speak to Epictetus about cross-unit maneuvers and not shooting each other. Any other business?
No, there's a general members of no's.
All right, everyone that wishes to contribute a member to a small unit task force next Saturday evening. RSVP, the Anvil of War. Please send it to the Lord Captain's desk, where he will review your personnel and approve or disapprove them. Thank you very much, everyone. Speak to Epictetus on your way out. Make sure to pick up a handbasket for a gift.
What are the gifts you give at a wedding called again? Like bombieres, what sort of stuff? You got like this?
It's just a T-shirt that's wrapped around like a bag of pot puree. Like that's all that I imagine is in these bags.
But all the T-shirts say like, I'm a member. You know, they're like Hand of Calixis crew. They're exclusive. It's like getting peanuts at the White House with the White House seal on them. You couldn't get these T-shirts anywhere else in the galaxy.
Yeah. Regina 4 World Tour M41 746.
The back says, I served with Lord Captain Pierre Cowles. And so they have to be sized correctly for the Death Watch Space Marines as well.
To fit over their armor?
Yeah, to wear volleyball.
This is why they went chaotic. They were like, how are we supposed to, do we like tie 4 shirts together?
Sir, our printers aren't that big.
Nero's just sitting there going, make it work, okay?
We've only got them.
That sounds like a you problem.
Yeah.
We got it. It went full circle. We figured it out.
Yeah, so Miriam's just going to be like, I'm sorry, Nero's going to be like, Miriam, good to see you. You look healthy. Are you healthy? I mean, I made a vow, an oath to a inquisitor that I would protect you. So,
yeah, it's highly uncomfortable spending so much time around these blanks, but I'm getting used to it.
That's terrible news.
Getting used to the fact I spend so much time around
parts.
Anyway, Sister Dawn, we meet at last. Sister Miriam of the Order of the Open Eye.
Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you. We have much to discuss.
The only other person that stayed behind when it broke up as well was the Librarian, who sort of trumps over to you in his Terminator armor.
Talking about Viridian?
Yes. Lord Captain, I simply wanted to once again thank you for bringing this group together, making this possible. I should warn you though still that our prognosticators have not been able to see beyond the fight that is to come. I can't guarantee you any outcomes.
That's why I'm trying my best to get as much as I possibly can in order to help us, but even sometimes limits can be reached. I do thank you for coming in to join this fight.
With your permission, I'd like to have one of my brothers assigned to guard you until this battle is solved.
That's perfectly reasonable.
Wow, Nero is so pissed. Let's break this down. We know that this guy lies to us on a regular basis. He just fucking showed up on our doorstep and tried to mind control Nero, and he just stole Nero's literal only job. Nero is so pissed when this happens, but he does nothing about it because he's drunk and he knows that he might want to try to kill Viridian.
I'll make it happen. Good evening, Lord Captain.
Good evening to you as well.
He departs.
Nero immediately says,
you can see, like, Miriam's face shows the shock that Nero's face probably doesn't. You know, it's she's obviously picked up on the subtext of what he's actually just said there, and so she's looking a bit aghast.
Yeah, Nero says in Rogue Trader Can, he's just like, Lord Captain, I suppose that my services are not good enough for you anymore. I understand when a man fails to kill a Deathwatch Space Marine in single combat, he must not be as good as a Silver Skull's prognosticator. I'm not jealous at all, sir. I hope you enjoy your new bodyguard who will keep you alive for a very long time.
No, I still need you. This is just to get
of course, sir.
Extra body, I suppose.
Lord Captain, this is Miriam, by the way. Lord Captain, I think it's fair to say that Viridius's interest is not in keeping you safe, but rather keeping an eye on you.
I understand. Though I still need his help.
It's not like he's lied to us constantly, Lord Captain. Tried to mind control me. Stupid big forehead.
I understand the worries, but at the moment I still need them to still be on good terms with them. We did kill, well, yes. We did cause the death of a dreadnought.
That's the first I've heard of this. That individual died? Shit.
Yes.
It's a good thing I wasn't involved in any way whatsoever with that, despite my best efforts.
Yep. Yes, that is indeed true.
How does it feel knowing that you
the
killed
idea that Dawn is just sitting there smiling, just like, yes.
Nero's just like, how does it feel killing a 10,000-year-old dreadnought, sir? Quite an accomplishment you can add to your list.
I don't know. I'd still have to figure out if it's actually dead or not.
You think he's lying to us?
He's... It's like...
And you want him to insert a bodyguard directly next to you for the next month. You play a game far deeper than I can understand, Lord Captain.
I
Such
believe
wisdom.
he spoke more of a metaphorical sense than a literal sense.
No, I'm fairly certain he was speaking literally. Oh, you mean about the death? I see. Yes. Sorry, Lord Captain, I was drinking with the Deathwatch Space Marine earlier.
So you guys hear like the whip crack sound of a teleportation just outside the building.
I want to be clear. Nero with the heavy bolters being like, "Wah!"
That's right. When you look out the window, there is now a Silver Skull's Terminator standing sentinel outside the door of the building.
Oh, okay. Well, that's extreme, but all right.
Yep, just your average personal Terminator bodyguard, Lord Captain. Totally normal.
Yes. I guess I go to greet our new bodyguard.
So you head outside. He's just standing there passively by the door with his with a storm bolter in his hand, power fist in the other hand.
He's physically holding a power fist on top of his head. Couldn't find a surf to get it on, huh?
It's more like he's sort of like he's got his arms crossed in front of him. So he's got like the storm bolter resting on top of the power fist. You know, like
I know what you meant.
Like
I just thought the imagery was funny.
Why, hello, Mr.
Atticus.
Atticus. I didn't think when they were going to send someone down that they would send someone in Terminator armor.
Right. He makes it sound like a grunt to acknowledge what you. I don't know if it will pick up on my microphone, but he just basically grunts to acknowledge that you said something to which he does not need to reply.
I
But
see.
he heard you.
Very well. I think Spear will just go back inside, trying to comprehend as to why they sent a Terminator. It seems like either they're very protective, or they believe that he's going to get in more trouble than he's probably actually going to get in trouble.
All right. He stays behind.
Okay.
So, Dawn, do you step aside with Miriam now, or?
Yeah, sure. We'll do the conversation now.
Okay. How have you found your time aboard the Hand of Calixis?
Well, that Nero is quite the character.
That's literally the first thing you say. Your trip is Nero-centric. Wow.
Outside of that, I've had quite a number of encounters with Xenos, and I must say that it's a far shout from the Abbey. So I've learned quite a lot in the last month.
Oh, I think that it's important that somebody like yourself is able to help the Lord Captain make sense of what he finds in the Expanse and guides him properly. And once again, Nero is also a man who needs great guidance.
I have found that. He is a frustrating individual to some extent.
You'll get used to it. I did.
Well, by the way, I must thank you for your recommendation of me to the Hand of Calixis. It came as quite a shock that you requested me personally.
You pick up some this topic's a little bit uncomfortable for her. Like, you're not sure why. It's not like she doesn't want to talk about it. Just that you've struck a nerve in saying this. I'm glad that the referral was a good fit. I'm glad that you found your place there, and that the ship and its crew will be better for your presence.
Is there a particular reason why you requested me personally? I mean, Sister Riley was quite an exceptional sister. I'm not sure why you picked myself over her.
May I ask you a question? You might know about my background. Did we ever meet before? I don't think we have met before, but I need you to tell me if we have or not. And by the way, out of character, you haven't. You definitely never met her before.
No, I have never had the pleasure of meeting you. But
sorry, go ahead.
So, however, your deeds are something that are known to me.
When I reviewed the names of the sisters at the Abbey of the Dawn, looking for one, I know several of the sisters of that order. I served there for some time, probably before you joined. So I skimmed the list looking for names that people I might be good to refer for this particular role. Only because I know that the prior Lord Captain had some dealings with the Abbey of the Dawn before as well. I believe she sent some artifacts there at one point in the past. And I think even then the Abbey had even seen battle. There's the hospitalized of the Abbey had seen battle with the Lord Captain before. But anyway, getting away from that point, when I reviewed the names, I came to your name, and somehow I knew that you would be the right choice, like more so than anybody else there. It may be from a part of my psyche that I can't. Actually, this is why I asked that we'd met, whether we met it before or not. But I knew that for whatever reason, I couldn't perceive right now that you were the one I needed to send for.
I see. Well, it is disheartening that you didn't send for me for a more notable reason other than some innate feeling, or perhaps a memory that was removed from your prior history and altercations.
It may be a notable reason. I mean no insult here. It may be a notable reason, but it's not a notable reason I can call to mind right now.
I see. Is anyone paying attention to the conversation we're having? Like if I look over my shoulder or anything?
I want to
like
be super clear. Nero did not go with Pierre because he's so pissed. So Nero is standing behind the two of you, looking away from you, but his shoulder-mounted laser has been watching you the whole time, and he's been listening to the two of you talk to him while he's scrolling down his list. And just like, oh, wow, there are so many names here.
Yeah. So I'm gonna like, I guess, do the thing where I sort of lead her a little bit further away, and
as you do, the eye of the omniscope just zooms in.
Yars.
I'm gonna make sure that my mouth is not facing the
like,
camera.
I mean, I want to be clear. Nero can't read lips, nor does Omniscope have audio capability. So if you're out of
I am not aware
talking
of
range,
this.
yeah, so
and then I'll say to her, 1 second, I gotta pull up his name. Oh my god, I got so many different tabs open on this computer. I'll say to her, it's like, I know you have had your memory purged, but does the name Talon Balewing mean anything to you?
she thinks there's some familiarity there.
I see.
Can I suggest, Dawn, that you write a missive to Palatine Rhiannon at the Abbey of the Dawn? See, ask her your questions. She may know more. Goneril has only got access to so much information. The Abbey does keep some secrets, and Palatine Rhiannon is the most senior at your Abbey.
Mm-hmm. I will do this. Thank you for your guidance. It would be nice to. Are you joining us on the Hand of Calixis?
I have been asked to help with the conversion of the populace here. I imagine so Nero did invite me to come back to the Hand of Calixis today. I'm not sure to what end. My current goal is to assist with this conversion of the populace, and then when that state is done, presumably return to the Calixis sector. I potentially would ask you to continue my original mission here, which was to ensure that Pierre Cowles was properly bred. He is the last of his line right now. So insofar as he has an uncle.
For a very instant, like there was a bit of a blush, and then she's like, "Oh, I understand."
Yeah, yeah. He had right now. If Cowles was to die in this conflict, the warrant would fall to his uncle, and that would be a particularly poor choice for the Imperium.
So I am to find him. What is a nice way of putting this? A receptacle for his seat?
He needs an heir, possibly, and given the strength of his line, I said a good one. So perhaps I will write to you from time to time if I come across any in my travels.
So Nero suddenly speaks up. Again, you've moved away from him, and he goes, "A receptacle for my seed? What kind of weirdo uses languages like that? The Countess should be ashamed." And then he looks around and he's like, "Oh, shit." And he leaves.
So again, she'll sort of lean into Miriam and is like, I've read maybe a handful of these sorts of novels. I'm not entirely sure what it is that I'm
oh my god.
required to do.
Wait. I want to know what kind of novels the Sisters of Battle prepare their adherents with. What romantic novels?
Let's be very let's be very real. Like there is like probably just like the smallest, like the minute hint of subtext in a book about this that gets probably passed around by the sisters, and it's just like, hey, you should read this. It's really good, but it's actually just like dry as all hell. Like
such and such begat such and such. Oh, there's some gatting going on.
Like, okay, shit, yeah. It's the least heretical like smut book you could ever possibly imagine.
That's right.
And it's like, that's
it's so salacious. They held hands. Oh my god.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like reading a family tree and just being like, oh shit. So yeah. So she'll lean in and say like, am I supposed to arrange it? Like what exactly are you doing?
I mean, for me, this is very much a business transaction. We're not trying to find Pierre a life partner or anything. We simply need him to have viable heirs. His mother understood the purposes of this. So we simply need to find the right candidates and then have him amenable to the idea of having children, and then we will assess the children to make sure that they have carried on the line correctly and decide how to proceed from there.
So if it is a transaction, are we to accept payment for his seed? How does that work?
No, I mean, at the end of the day, he benefits because he receives an heir. The Imperium benefits by ensuring that his line remains strong and that we have people of high caliber operating this warrant in the beyond the edge of the Imperium, rather than people like Gianco Scourge or Fel or Hadrak or Fel.
I am unfamiliar with these names, but I guess I will have to learn about several available women in the near future. This is a very odd request, Miriam, but I will do my best if this is a task that you wish to see completed.
I'm surprised she doesn't have a list for, like, a list like she had for Nero for Pierre at this point.
Yeah. So let me be clear. So what's happened is that, like, she sent Nero's details into like the Famulus order to like catalog, and then like other Sisters Famulus who work for various noble families can like review the catalog at any point in time. And so so all these requests are from Sisters Famulus and other families saying, we think this would be a good lineage to bring into into the family that we're currently looking after. So they're all offers from those Famulus orders. So effectively, like, once again, Pierre's details are already in the database, but none have actually yet come forward and specifically said, we're looking to make this union at this point in time. So it's more of a case. So it can go either way. But in this case, multiple people expressed interest in Nero.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I love the idea that there is like a Lord Captain, I've devised this tool to assist you in your choosing of a suitable mate. Swipe left if you wish to engage. Swipe right if you wish to ignore.
I mean, just to be clear, nobles will be banging down your door too when you got 5 fate points. I
do have 5. I do have 5 fate points, so bring it on.
Yeah.
I don't. That must be my problem. I just have 4.
Yeah. Also, you need to have a statue of yourself.
Even Nero trying to wingman you. We still haven't gotten a list for you. Don't worry, your list will be large and majestic. About twice as wide, billowing with names. Exclusive contracts.
Okay, is there anything else we want to do this thing before we wrap it up for the night? Because
can I send a message off to this Rhiannon?
Yep. About
Only because I know that I'll forget to do it in a week. Like that's the only reason I want to do it now. Yeah.
Any particular? So you want to basically ask about the name Talon Balewing? Do you describe anything about the vision that you experience, that sort of stuff?
I'm perfectly content telling anyone from the order what I experienced in as much detail as I'll be afforded. Especially anyone of a senior position to myself. So I'd be more than willing to express everything that happened.
All right, no worries.
Simply asking for guidance and information. Yeah.
The other thing of note is that Nero has messaged all members of the task force with the task force name, which is the Pre-Revengers or the Prevengers, which is a very serious name that will definitely be used. And he's also writing a letter to the Canonist Goneril, which I'll send to you in a couple minutes when I've finished it.
Okay.
That's it.
All right, that's it for tonight. Everyone have 300 XP.
Nero now knows how to drive vehicles.
I'm immediately purchasing the thing that puts me into Crazy Town, so let's do it.
Battle Rage, or it is, all right? That's called
Battle Rage, I think it's called. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, you already have Frenzy?
Yep.
Yeah.
I could get Battle Rage at the next thing, but of course it's not my area of specialty, so.
If it makes you feel better, I can get pistol weapon training universal right now, but I'm not going to because that's silly.
I already have it. I have weapon training for everything but all heavy weapons.
Yeah, I'm missing one thing of Flamer, but that's about it. So.
God, I was just bringing up my notes because when I was checking into your stuff where you had all your profit factor stored, your winery, I was seeing at the planet I'd named it, or was actually in the Calixis sector, and it is. And I was just reading about that planet. Apparently, the people that live on this agri world have their arms replaced with augmentic threshing and harvest tools to help increase production.
Wow, that seems like a massive waste.
That's brutal. Okay. Would there be a point in trying to get anything else as far as like could I try to get a refractor field since I haven't? There's still like one more.
Yes.
So you want to snipe one in at the last second? All right.
Yep. Do it.
I mean, you could probably get it from the Battle Sisters. They I imagine that they would have.
No, they like the Canonist has one, and that's it. They're not a common thing. Okay, so I go into the storm.
Nero walks past 3 times with his.
The Inquisitor has like a spare, or maybe there's one on the merchant ship.
I mean, you can still test for it, but I mean, there's no bonus to it as such. That's what I'm saying.
Well, that's what I say. It's like if it's worth bothering. I was just going to do it like the good version.
Okay, so a refractor field specifically. Similar to what Nero's got. Okay, so refractor fields are very rare, which is -20, so plus 10 for anyone, but -10 for good quality. So it's a straight proper factor roll plus minus your commerce test.
Oh well, I'll re-roll that. God,
Bend him if you got him.
no. Nope. Okay, well this is going to suck. All right.
Okay, so you're at 46%.
All right. Well,
I believe in you.
This would be a good test for the refractor field.
50.
Close, but no refractor field.
Okay. Oh well.
All right, Arthur, take us out.
Friends, how do I say this? I think that this ritual that Nero has undergone is going to make him stop being ridiculous. I know originally I wanted Nero to be less ridiculous, and then he got more ridiculous. On the other hand, he did get a bunch of insanity points. And it's been a tough time for him, but now he's reached a new plateau Death Watch Space Marines give him admiration, or at least some minor bit of respect. He's got an Inquisitor who he is, not friendly, acquaintance worthy, hasn't tried to murder him in the recent times. So we could be seeing some changes for Nero that are the exact opposite of Dawn, who's about to become an insane, frothing at the mouth, raving person. And Nero's gonna be like, hark. Let us look upon the dawn this morning. The God Emperor. I shed a tear for his majesty. That's what I've got. Hondo, what do you got?
You muted.
I don't have much. I'm just kind of like now just at the point where pretty much I and Pierre are like, oh god, how are we gonna get as much as possible we can get in this? And now I'm just seeing everything. It's like, oh god, I'm losing everything. I don't know. Let's see how it goes. I'm curious if we're going to do like if our characters, when they're on the battlefield, for doing that, have like special aura buffs.
Yep. Yeah, and this is part of because you want to do this cross training thing, that I will allow your aura buffs to apply across all keywords.
Look at that. Look at that. No problems, guys. Out here getting to Pittacus doing shit.
Like, I don't know. Like, Pierre's could be either like reroll ones or something, or a buff to leadership.
What's the Inquisitorial Acolyte thing? Look out, sir. Nero 100% has that. Lord Captain, stay by me. You'll be safer. Trust me.
So I'm actually a little confused as to what we will be doing during that whole thing. So
we will be taking our characters and making them into Warhammer 9th Edition tabletop wargaming hero units, and then we're going to be beating armies.
I don't remember if I got a set of light power armor for Dawn yet or not, which I don't think I did.
No, I still have the. That is the last thing I need to get on my list of things to get.
I think I might just. Well, I don't know if I can. It's like, because I got a set for me, I might just have Dawn. Have
I would think that the sisters would have some spares.
I can see, but
we write down right now that plus 20 bonus for looking for sisters gear.
Yeah, I'll just actually post in the.
Bring it around next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is indeed the last thing to get. So, but it's only like, if my math is correct, it's like 1 armor difference. So
the main difference is it gives you a strength bonus as well, which increases your melee damage.
Yes,
I did not know that,
because it's power assisted.
Yeah.
And it's also void sealed too, so you can operate in
space with armor, which is big.
Oh shit, that's actually.
So the situations where you had no armor because you had to have void suit, you could wear that and be fine and actually have some armor.
Cool.
So
non-Space Marine power armor only lasts about 10 hours. Space Marine power armor has effectively like a fusion reactor in it, which lasts indefinitely.
I think it's like
we know how they last indefinitely. We don't need to go over that again.
I think Sisters of Battle also have like indefinite time with their power armor. I think, I don't recall.
We'll see what the item says in the description.
I'm not entirely like. I'm not aiming to get power armor. I don't think. I think it's kind of little.
The benefit of getting power armor for the main battle is your armor save will be better.
A lot better.
It'd be typically around 3+ instead of probably a 4+ or 5.
I mean, you don't get instantly.
It'd be 16.7% better to be precise.
Yeah. And that's percentiles, so it means it goes from a 4 up.
That
to
almost
a 3
sounds
up.
like somebody rolling a d6.
Wow. You mean the difference? Because the thing I'm going for is carapace armor. Or am I going for power armor?
Carapace armor is lighter than power armor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Carapace is what Nero wears.
I'm not sure what it is you're rolling for, but yeah, okay.
Essentially,
that's right. So that's right. I remember that. So that's right, because Dawn had, when Dave was making the character, there was a choice of which item to take, and he was torn between the carapace armor, which is typical for the Sisters Hospitaller, or the sword. And he went for the sword on the basis I'll get the carapace armor later. So he was looking for the carapace armor particular to the Sisters Sisters Templar. So in terms of 40k 9th edition rules, flak armor, which he has currently, is a 5+, carapace armor is a 4+, and power armor is a 3+.
Cool.
Oh, I would have an extra set of carapace armor that I could give her. It's actually a good set. So it's
what gets you down
lighter.
to a 2+?
Terminator armor.
Yep, Turner.
Yep.
Okay.
Or Centurion battlesuit.
So if you have a set of this carapace, I'll just swap over to that now, I guess.
I have a set of good quality carapace armor that I got for my character creation.
Okay. Sure. That is just one of those things where like it's universally fit, or like how does that work?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm happy to say that it's not the same suit effectively that Pointer just trades off it, but you get what it's a carapace armor you were after was. So
okay. Yeah,
I'm happy
sure.
to just hand wave that, because I know it's part of your character style, and I'm happy to support that style.
Yeah. And you were rolling for power armor? Is that what the sisters were?
So
Force is a battle wear power armor. Yeah.
So in the tabletop, when you get dealt a wound, you make an armor save. So depending on what you have, like for the carapace, you roll 4 up. So you need to get at least a 4 on the die
to ignore
the damage. Yeah.
And with the light power armor,
it'd be
3 up.
3 up. So
yeah. Oh.
Yeah, one better.
So it's more than a 50-50 chance to ignore the wound or the damage. Because
that's on a D6, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. It's only in the war game terms, not in the RPG terms.
Yeah. So
I see. So maybe they have something I can borrow. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'll give it a shot next week if they do. It's kind of
okay.
I'm guessing we have like one more session before we do the fight, or well, actually,
we have a
maybe
whole
1 or 2.
month. Calm down.
Yeah.
We have to go. Aren't we sending a team into the pyramid?
I hope so.
We were going into the
I spent a lot of time writing that.
I hope so too. I've been wanting to get down in there and kill a bunch of mecha scarabs. I need vengeance. I want its taste of vengeance. Listen, it's on the schedule for Saturday evening. All right. I assume that when you make a plan with an Inquisitor and their team, you keep to that schedule, or you end up on a rack. Dave, what do you got for an outro?
Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Thanks for running, James, as always. I'm slowly learning more and more about this game, and I have made a conscious choice to change Dawn and to be more aggressive, because it's just a little easier to play in this game world, I think, than it is to play someone who's reserved. So that's partly the reason why I'm doing it. But yeah, if you want to go check out my stuff, head on over to Steam and look up Pieces of My Heart. It's available right now. You can buy it. It's great. It is very adult though, so keep that in mind. And that game is doing quite well. So thank you for everyone who supports it. If you can, leave a review on Steam. It's very important. Very important. But yeah, that's me. Thanks for watching.
Okay, James, what do you got?
I am James, the Grimdark Podcast, grimdarkpodcast.com. I am still 2 weeks behind putting up an episode because my podcasting laptop has died and I need to work out how to get my files off so I can get them edited and uploaded. But other than that, I'll be doing an unboxing video as soon as the supply crate, the Imperial supply crate lands. You can find me back here again on Thursday for Battletech, and of course next Saturday for the next episode of The Last Scion. Yeah, and let me just say as well, Dave, that I think you're doing very well assimilating this new and rather robust setting, which I've been following since the late '80s, and that I think that you're doing well. Don't worry about it. Don't feel that you're getting wrong. I think you're doing a really good job of assimilating it.
So there's a couple of horizons in nerddom that like you kind of like overcome. The first one is like just anime in general. The next one is Magic the Gathering, and then the third one is Warhammer. So
I actually feel like Magic is first, but
you think Magic's first? Okay.
Oh,
anime is a little easier because you don't need
drug.
other people. You don't need other people, right? And Magic the Gathering, you do need other people to a degree. and then there's Warhammer, and Warhammer to me has always just been like this Goliath of stuff, where it's just like, oh yeah, here's the required reading, and it's like, oh god. So I've always been very hesitant in that, and my attempts at Warhammer have always been like, okay, I don't understand shit, so let's just make a comedy podcast out of it, and that always pissed off everyone.
The setting is a parody of itself, so it's already it's designed to be a gallows humor parody. So
it's like if metal bands were like in space and they had a TV show. Like that's kind of how I feel this goes. Yeah.
I think when Dark Heresy First Edition first came out, somebody put up a meme that was a picture of the front cover of the book, and they'd replace the name Dark Heresy with Catholic Space Nazis.
Wow, that's a bold choice. Rough.
Yep.
You got anything else, James?
No, that's it.
Do we have an ETA on this episode release?
The one that I'm trying to get fixed up right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Soon. It's
right.
so it's like, I mean, I followed enough EA games to know that the word "soon" means nothing.
Wow, man, that's at EA today. Been a rough day.
I get this all the time with my kids. They come and say, "Can you come and do this?" I'm like, "I'll be a few minutes." How many is a few? I don't know, like
Soon.
3. And suddenly my watch pops
How
up
long
saying,
is a piece of string?
Yeah, because my kids have like smartwatches that are connected to mine. So suddenly I'll say, "Oh, such and such has created a 3-minute timer." I'm like, fuck you, child. I'll be out when I'm out.
All right, that's it. We're done. Moving to the ending stream.
Outro?
What?
Did Potter get an outro?
Yeah, Potter did the outro immediately after me, right?
Did you?
I believe
that
so.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He didn't. Listen, you might not remember it because he didn't talk about his Gestalt game, but
I'm just so used to hearing the whole "Hi, I'm Pondo, I Pondo the Mad." You can
yeah,
catch me
he
on
didn't
Twitter.
do that this time. I know. It'll never be like that episode where I did Cotton's intro
right, yeah.
for her. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Cotton I Doodle and stuff.
Yeah.
So is this
Hi,
the armor that you gave me? Is that the one with the full space suit thing, or not really?
No, it's not void sealed. It is still it is
Super marketable.
It's the armor that Nero currently wears. The same Carapace armor is that level in terms of the artwork that we got from Yoz. That is Carapace armor in that artwork.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Look, you look like a total badass wearing it, but.
Oh yeah.
All right, are we actually ready to go out now? Because I'm on the ending screen, but they can still hear us.
No
Okay.
worries.